Hi everyone, I'm Matt Pescatore and welcome to Legacy Live. We have a special guest here, my wife Pina Pescatore, and she's going to show you how to make tiramisu.
Hi everybody. So today I'm going to make one of my favorite desserts. It's called Tiramisu, which in translation it is called Pick Me Up or Cheer Me Up. It is an Italian dessert that is coffee based, and it's with lady fingers, and we dip them in espresso and then layer it with a mixture of eggs and mascarpone.
Remember, you don't have to write this down because the recipe will be on the website.
So we're going to use, I like to use 5 eggs. And what we'll do is separate the yolk from the whites. So we'll put the whites of the egg here and the yolk in this right here. So we're gonna do 5 eggs. Now we have the eggs separated, and in the yolk, I am going to put, there's 5 eggs here, so I'm gonna put, for each egg, I'll put a tablespoon of sugar. This is how the white of the eggs should be. It took 3 minutes of beating. Okay, so after beating the egg yolks and sugar for 3 minutes, that's what they look like. So once that is done, what we do is we fold in the whites of the eggs. And then we also add 16 ounces of mascarpone cheese, which is an Italian soft cheese. And we add that to this mixture. And we beat it for another 3 minutes. We're back again. So now this is the mixture of everything.
Our next step is, I chose this as a platter that I'm going to place the lady fingers, the dessert in. So these are the lady fingers that I like to use. They're Italian lady fingers. And what you do is you just dip it right into the espresso coffee and just layer the whole bottom.
All the lady fingers are placed, and we're going to put our first layer of mixture. Just gonna just evenly spread the mixture. And then I'm going to sprinkle some cocoa in between the layers too. You can use any type of cocoa. I like to use this cocoa. And I just place it in one of these and just kind of sprinkle it around like that. Okay, so I did the final layer of lady fingers. This is a 3-layered lady finger. And then I top it off here with the remainder of the mixture, the mascarpone cheese, and the fresh eggs, which I want to thank my husband, Matt, from our chickens today. So this is the finale of how you make this dessert. And after this is all said and done, I place it in the refrigerator overnight. So when you want to make this dessert, it's probably best to make it the day before, which I made one yesterday so we could enjoy this evening after dinner with the cup of espresso. And I'll show you what that looks like. This is the result of today's tiramisu. This is what today's looks like. And I'm going to place this in the refrigerator overnight. So this is yesterday's dessert that I made. And again, you can see, you can display it at any type of platter you like. And that's the end of our dessert. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, we're going to make the homemade pasta. It's actually pretty simple. Do about 8 cups of flour, about 3 tablespoons of olive oil, and about 2 tablespoons of salt. Alright, so there's 2 ways you can mix it. I like to use a KitchenAid mixer, but if you don't have a mixer, you can just use a big bowl, add some water and kind of knead it. So we're going to use a mixer for this one. And as far as how much water, I usually add a little bit at a time. It's done when it starts. Everything's formed and the pan's pretty much clean. Looks like we got that just a little bit. Like I said, just add like a drop at a time. basically comes right out, clean pan. And what you want to do, you want to let this sit probably about 15 minutes. What I usually do is just take a little flour and just kind of put some flour over there just so it doesn't stick. And we'll let this sit about 15 minutes. While the dough is sitting, what we're going to do, we're going to prep the counter. This is a little trick you can use when you make dough, make pasta, because it gets kind of messy. So what I do, I grab a wet paper towel, and what you want to do is wipe the counter so it's wet, and then take saran wrap. What the water does, it'll make the saran wrap kind of stick to the counter. And then you just kind of do the whole counter, and then after you're done, you just pull it up and throw it away, and there's pretty much no cleanup. All right, we let the dough sit for about 20 minutes, and I can see how now it's kind of more pliable, it doesn't just break. So what we're gonna do, we have the pasta machine, and right now I have it on the widest setting as far as the thickness. So what you wanna do is kind of just take the dough. This is basically just the first step. Just put it aside, and I'd like to take some flour so it doesn't stick. And also the flour helps it dry out. The drier the dough, the drier you get it, the better it is. It gives you more firm texture. So what we're going to do is put all these through the first, I call it the first press, or whatever you want to call it. And then I'll show you what comes next. All right, we did the initial press, and right now they're kind of thick. We want it that way because we're going to make them a little bit thinner right now. The final thickness should be probably the thickness of a fettuccine. You basically see they're all different sizes right now, so when you first cut it, don't be too concerned of making everything perfect. So what you want to do is basically fold it in half again. I'm going to put it through one more time. So I made the press a little thinner, and what I'm going to do is push it through. And to make it consistent, I use this. This is about, let's say, about 10 inches. And you want to cut it and then put it aside. Okay, so we ran everything through, and we're going to let these sit here probably about another 20 minutes to a half hour. And what I like to do is just, plenty of flour, and I'll probably flip them every, say, 10 minutes just because of the bottom collects moisture sometimes. Let them sit, dry out a bit before we put them through the machine again to make the noodles. All right, for the final step, we attach the fettuccine attachment to the pasta machine, and we're going to put the dough in there. I like to use a wooden spoon to go about halfway. I have the drying rack. And there you have it.